Hello everyone, this is Sarah, Painting Creator here. So I've got my 12cm square paper and I've just drawn a C shape around the inside of my masking tape reel. You could use anything you want. I've only taped it to the board so that we've got it in one piece for the work that we're going to do together, and it doesn't move around on the camera. You could quite easily have this as you want. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to draw some clusters of sort of circle shapes around this left hand side. Different sizes, maybe one or two little ones over here, just so that you get that sort of feeling of a cluster of berries. I'm going to sketch on some holly leaves, so roughly I know where they're going. They don't have to be pretty or precise. They can just be a bit like you used to draw at school, because that's the level of my drawing. So nice and light, so you know roughly where they're going. I'm going to go underneath these berries on this one. That needs a pointy bit, doesn't it? There we go, pointy bit. So odd number of holly leaves, and that's roughly what I'm going to work with. So I'm going to start off with my little number 4 and some cobalt blue and some new gamboge yellow. So it's like an orangey yellow is a new gamboge yellow. If you haven't got new gamboge, you could do some cadmium yellow, that's fine. It's a really nice sort of olivey green, and then on this side I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow. So I've sort of got 2 colours on the palette there, a little bit more. Might have to put some more in my tub because it's running out. So I'm starting with these holly leaves. So just a little bit of the lighter tone on the left. I've lost the point a bit, but never mind. They're all different shapes. Plenty of water. And then this one that's going around these little berry bits. Now I'm just going to go back in with, pick some of this darker green up and let it mix on the page. It's the joy of watercolour for me, is letting it do its own thing on the page. drop a little bit more dark into this one. And then just the corner of a little plastic card. And just scrape in some little bit of a texture of where the veins go. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue into that mix and swap down to a number two brush. So I'm going to add some turquoise blue into this green, and it makes a lovely bluey greeny colour. So with my number two brush, I'm going to go and pop in some longer strokes, just pushing and some up here. Just pushing with the brush, some smaller ones as it goes up into this corner. And then a little bit around here just to balance it off. So same push with the brush. So two nice contrasting colours there. So I'm going to go with some cobalt blue again, and this time I'm going to go for some cadmium yellow light. So a more sort of lighter yellowier green. Still with my little number two brush. And I'm just going to pop on some little fir leaves. So maybe one coming out here. Behind there would be nice. Going around those little berries and behind that holly. It's a really good way of practicing your brush control. So maybe another one here. Just little flicky marks. Really light, different directions. We can come back in in a minute or two. So I'm just going to put one heading down here. And then a branch off here. And then a branch off here. So just use whatever size brush you feel confident with. Didn't think that had enough oomph with it. I might just put a little one there. So you've got a bit of a frame. So I'm going to just mix a little bit of this bluey colour into my greeny colour here to make it slightly darker. It's not whatnot. And I'm just going to go back over some of these and just drop a little bit of a darker tone in where I feel it needs it. Just lots of little marks, different directions. There we go. So now for the berries. So I'm going to use this orange base. So that's just cadmium orange, and I'm just going to add some cadmium red into that orange. So a red and an orange mixed together, slightly thick. Get us a nice sort of golden berry colour. And then as you're doing the berries, just try and remember to leave a few little highlights and to think, oh, I fancy one there. So if you want one up here and you haven't drawn it, it's fine, you can add it in. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But just try and leave a little bit of a berry highlight in some bits. If you don't manage it, it's fine, you can go back in with a gel pen or a little bit of white gouache. And actually they won't all have little glinty bits that you'd see, because some of them are tiny, and that's fine. I'm sure I popped a few down here. going to put one or two on the end here. There we go. So just to add a little bit of a shadow and a depth of colour, I'm just going to put some mauve underneath, particularly some of these bigger ones. So just tapping in a bit of purple underneath, just to add to the depth in it. Oops, I lost that one. That light, but never mind. So ready to give that a dry. So that's had a bit of a blast with the hairdryer. So I do have, don't know where my little pot's gone. 1 minute. So I do have a little pot of aqua bronze rich gold, and it comes out as a powder. Oops. And then you mix it just using a damp brush, and it makes a little bit of alchemy. You mix it until it's got a nice consistency. So I can use it to add the little bit of gold into where my wreath is running. If you haven't got this gold, it's fine, you can use whatever you want. I can also add a little bit of a gold highlight on some berries, which is really nice, especially for this time of year, and on the edge of maybe some of these holly leaves, which again is a nice touch. And I can also add over the top, I can add some gold leaves, which I like doing. So not an essential part, but a nice part. If you're making a Christmas card from this for somebody, it's nice just to have those little embellishments. How nice is that? So there we go, a really nice contemporary little wreath. If you wanted, you could carry on and do the other half with your little gold bit, but I quite like it as it is. Right, I'm going to have to stop fussing and fiddling, but you get the idea. Have fun, enjoy. Nice idea for a card.